Let's talk a little bit about the formula for advertising. So we already talked about the difference between name recognition and direct response. Well, when we go into a direct response ad or direct response marketing, it could be many forms. We're going to look at this formula. So the formula is, number one is identifying the problem. And we never want to talk about our product or service. It's always understanding within that target market what their primary problem is. And again, this gets back to motivation, and we talk about the 5 different types of motivation, which is present pain, present pleasure, future pleasure, curiosity. And where is the highest prevalence of motivation? Well, 80% of it is based on present pain, not future pain, not present pleasure, not future pleasure, not curiosity. Those are all 5% each. So those are very small factors of what motivates people. Overwhelmingly, what motivates human beings, 80% is what's called pain-based, and it doesn't have to be physical pain. It could be physical pain, emotional pain, psychological pain, and it's pain-based, and it's based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so if you look at the primary, if there's a restriction or limitation in a primary need, those are your physiological needs: food, shelter, oxygen. That's where you will spend and focus your time and money to make sure to stabilize that. And then once you have that, then the next factor is security. So those are the 2 pain-based categories of motivation. That's where over 80% of people spend their time and money, is trying to get out of those categories and stay out of those categories. And then the pleasure-based categories start going into socialization, materialization, and self-actualization. So that's all Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so that has to do with motivation. So that's really what motivates people. So instead of trying to impose your motivation on them, and chiropractors are pretty good at doing that, trying to impose a philosophy or a wellness care. It seems to be one of the latest things is wellness care. And the vast majority of people are not motivated by wellness care. They're motivated by Maslow's hierarchy of need, avoiding a primary, secondary pain or motivation. So this is the communication. So when I talk about the problem of advertising, we want to identify a problem way more than a pleasure. And out of all the potential problems, remember we have the 80-20 rule. There's a 20% of them that overwhelmingly represent the majority of the problems, and that is based on Pareto's law, the economist Pareto. So that's what that's based on. None of this has to do with chiropractic philosophers and chiropractic theory. So it has to do with human beings and how they naturally act and respond and are motivated innately, subconsciously.